Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with their opponents. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Giants' offense will be led by the rookie from Duke, and that's Daniel Jones. Of course, Eli Manning made 210 consecutive starts for the G-men from 2014 until 2 years ago. But now he gives way to Jones, who threw for 52 touchdowns in his 3 years as a starter in Durham as a Blue Devil.
Gator. Push him back. Rush in.
Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down. A lot of people thinking that this could be a good year for Sterling Shepard to step out of the shadows of Odell Beckham Jr. But a season ago, pretty good for Sterling Shepard. 66 receptions, 872 yards, and now hoping for a 1,000-yard campaign in 2019. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And the offensive starters for the New York Giants.
And we focus on maybe the ultimate home run hitter in the NFL today, and that's running back Saquon Barkley, because teams come into every game with the idea that they want to limit his production and especially his big play ability. But how many times did we watch him in his rookie year where he would be limited throughout the game, and then all of a sudden there he goes out the back door, 50, 60, 70 yards. He's a lot of fun to watch unless you're trying to defend him.
Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Ready?
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Russell Shepard, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Ingram hauls it in. Touchdown, Giants! Evan Ingram, his fourth touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Final week of the year, an absolute must-win game for them, so they needed to get on the board first. They were able to do just that.
And you laid out the stakes. So just think what they've been working with this entire build-up towards this game. Must win. You've got to get on the board first. They accomplished that. Now they can't have any type of a letdown. Long way to go in this one.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here come the Eagles under fourth-year head coach Doug Peterson. They'll be led out by the veteran, the 38-year-old quarterback, two-time Super Bowl MVP Eli Manning.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Throwing on first down is Manning. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run with Howard. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Let's go! Let's go!
We get a look at what Ertz did receiving-wise last week. 8 catches, 74 yards.
And here he is with just 1 week to go in the regular season. All he wants to do is lock things up. He kind of wants to do like the golfers. Post a number, go to the clubhouse, and secure a league title in receiving yards.
On first down, Howard. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the 16, Manning. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously the players and coaches, there's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their challenge. And you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now. Win the game.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley, and an alley to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Jones. Off play action. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, check. 3 down. Check it. Out.
Throwing again. Manning. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
3 down. He's crashing. Hey, lock it.
To throw on 3rd down. Manning. Buying time to his left. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Let's go now. 50, plant. 3 ball. Check. Check the backer.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Hey, 4 down.
They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And he's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Fighting through it, he's got space. 25 yards there on the catch and run. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Throwing Jones. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That would be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Jones operating from the gun. And it's complete. What a catch at the 7. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Golden Tate, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Roses now to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. 13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
This is Howard on second down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. You know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marcus Golden, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 39. Manning now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second down now. It's Howard. And he'll go down at the 28. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. he did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Manning going to come up on 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On play action. Now Manning. This will be caught at about the 5. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones, throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
53, Mike. Check pass.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Doug Peterson says, let's go for two here. So the fumble recovery, and now Manning. The quick slant caught. And he's not going to get there. So they come up empty on the two-point conversion, and they are unable to tie up this football game. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for two and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
Here we go.
Evan Ingram works his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. And some of his highlights here from this game, he's nearing 100 yards, Parker.
And defensive.
On the ready.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Jones. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's Riley Dixon now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Sproles, the return. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Manning. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And it's the Cowboys who are out in front. Randall Cobb, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers with 2 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And that one all tied against the visiting Steelers. Meanwhile, it was the rookie Daniel Jones living up to the hype as the 6th overall pick. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. as we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Madden. Ertz has it left side. That one covers 29 yards. First down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Screen pass to Sproles. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And some room to work. Golden Tate's gonna go. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Golden Tate. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Barkley. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
On 2nd down, it's Howard, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now. For the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They'll run on first down. Howard, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Manning. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 35. Manning now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Ready? 50, plant.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On 2nd down now. It's Howard down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. To throw is Manning. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
From the 29, Jones toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, it does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall entirely out of the postseason if this final day doesn't go their way.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs because, fortunately enough, we're going to be there to call some of these games. But when you're sitting where they are right now, the playoffs start with this game. They can't wait till next week and say, well, let's see if we're... No, they have to win this one to ensure that they're going to go. So their playoff run actually begins a week early.
By the way, I got my assignment for the playoffs. Lift Amy doing every game.
I like that.
Are you there, too?
I like that. I just hope I'm with you.
I hope so as well. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Jones now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards and a Giant first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They keep it with Barkley on first down, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up, because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes this a 9-point game. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On play action, it's Manning. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Manning now on 1st down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. In this league, but a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On 1st down, Manning. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Manning. Looking middle, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Into the red zone now, Manning. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch tight. Tight is right.
Play action. Manning. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Now Manning. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
New York set to take the field. The field goal we just saw has this now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
To throw again on second down, Jones, and he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Third and 1, gut check time on both sides.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
30 base.
53.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Manning. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jackson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now Manning got to hurry him to the line here.
sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Come on, set. AT Gator.
Big stop, dude. Big stop. Let's go.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw. That's caught left side, Arcega-Whiteside. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Manning going to come up on 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back to throw, Manning. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
You ready?
452. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Ready?
To throw is Manning. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Manning to throw. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
This is where hustle and urgency come into play. I think you've got to get up there and spike it.
That's complete right around the 8. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Manning. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.
And they had the final shot. The last snap taken that close to the end zone. They don't get it in, so they'll regret that. But flip it over, making a stand in that portion of the field, congratulations to them.
So for the Giants, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And the playoffs will run through their house as they'll get the week off.